and welcome to yet another episode of Podshots with Bhawna. Well, today let's go beyond the resumes and professional titles to actually discovering the inner journey of true meaning to the success. Because the guest whom I have invited today is someone who has actually lived various professional titles, from being a sales leader to a strategist to a mentor to now being a guide for career clarity. So allow me a moment till I bring him up onto the screen for all of us. Okay, so today on Podshots with Bhavna, I'm joined by someone whose journey is not about career achievement, but about career awakening. Gagan Victor, someone who started his professional journey from frontline sales to move to scale and crafts businesses with some real giants of medical devices and the pharma giants. And then later on, instead of chasing some more professional titles, he actually chose to start building people rather than building portfolios. So today he is actually a mentor for the professionals who are seeking clarity, wisdom, guidance, as well as some career resetting and self discovery. And so this is what he has, bringing all the kind of wisdom with him, from not just from the theory but from the practical wisdom from his more than 2 decades of experience. So please welcome Gagan Victor. Thank you, Mr. Victor, for accepting my invite and being my guest on today's show.
So thanks, Bhavna, for inviting me. First of all, love your energy. I've seen most of the pod shots, and one theme which came out of everyone which you interviewed till now is that they all were in love with your energy, which I can feel because we have interacted a couple of times, and whenever we have discussed on professional front in terms of their careers and all. So this has been there. And thank you very much for inviting in your pod shots. And I wish your pod shots a grand success, as well as lots and lots of views and millions of followers for you.
Thank you so much. It means a lot. So I think it's a great kickstart for me for today's episode as well. So I think today's episode is not about the career, but it's about becoming. So that's something which we are going to learn from you in next 15 minutes. So just to let you know, although you are acquainted with the show and you have been a follower, but this is a shorter or a bite-sized format of the podcast. So that's the reason it's called Pod Shot. So I will be asking you some couple of questions in the core grid, and then towards the end we'll have just a minute of a rapid fire to know you a little more at the professional front. So hope you're okay with that.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay. So Gagan, let's start with your career journey, and you have been an inspiration. As you say that this what you're currently doing is actually a very therapeutic thing for you. But I would be very interested to understand that what really made that shift from what you were doing earlier. So that's from achievement to actually making an impact.
Yeah, I think you've got the gist because when COVID happened, Bhavna, everything changed. So we all were in lockdowns and a lot of things transformed. For me, I've been working from home since the COVID lockdown. And the reason is that from, as you said, from achiever to now builder in terms of capability building or mentoring. This thing change happened all the way because of two factors. One was self-actualization and realization, which most of us got, and most of us are back to the same old track, or I should say same old rat in the terms of rat race. I'm not saying that we are not in that rat race. Everybody wants money. Money is the second god. You require to work to get your monthly, and of course you being a fractional CMO yourself and transition from a corporate world to now, you would have seen. And I really why we connected, we admire the Gagan Victor journey actually started with people like you whom got connected, because people like you who become entrepreneurs, and एक जज्बा चाहिए in terms of when you require someone like a new author requires a lot of pump in terms of giving him the major attention in terms of what he has done or achieved. Similarly, in your case, when you become an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, or in your case, a Hunar Hatti, you guys inspire, and that is how the thing started. That rather than achieving your own self, you can be a facilitator or a medium, I should say, to take things forward for the people who really value your inputs. So that is how this Gagan Victor journey started, and this is how from the achievement to the so now I become more of a passive role in most of my endeavors. I don't have a running role in them, but definitely I'm engaged in a lot of stuff. And of course, I love to put my like therapeutic thing, because I read a lot, and I have been reading, seeing, and listening to a lot of stuff. So that's what I like. I share, and whosoever gets connected, the universe conspires, and here we are with you.
No, that's wonderful. I think it's, as I said, it's quite inspiring. And when we see people
Yeah,
like you make such kind of shifts, so down the line, everyone gets that internal, calling. So I
yeah,
think that's very important. So now, since you have been, investing a lot of your time in mentoring and
yeah.
coaching people in the career guideline, or I would say resetting their career, or at the same time we can even call making them discover themselves now at one point in time. But what do you think, still, according to you, are some of the blind spots which the professionals actually still get into it, knowingly or unknowingly?
I think a very pertinent question, Bhavna, you asked. And like both of us, when we had a first chat, we were discussing what next, from the corporate world to now. What I think is the most lacking thing with the individuals, whichever I have mentored, interacted with, is that they are lost in their own mission and vision statements, Bhavna. Like if I ask you where you see yourself 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, I'm sure Hunar Hatti will be one piece of the thing in that, and you will have additionally this your pod shots will also be part of it. But I think the entire thing will change once you get into the zone where you really need to focus on where you want to be. What I feel is a lacking thing in the individuals is that they are not clear of what they want. Everybody wants to grow in career, everybody wants to have money, house, or family, everything, but nobody has got a clarity. Okay, I want to become an person who can people can, like a mission statement. Like you asked me, what does Gagan Victor see himself? I see myself as an enabler, a medium, because I believe if I make people grow, I automatically grow. So there is has to be some kind of a alignment. And if somebody wants to become a CEO or a general manager or a marketing manager or any designation, so the question which people don't normally ask is, so what? From there, where? What is the ultimate goal? If you achieve that, a next goalpost will start. So I think the young guys, especially the mid-career crisis, when suddenly somebody is given a pink slip, or someone who's just joined newly and is got a boss mismanagement kind of stuff, because I always believe boss management is also a art which many a times people forget. So there are an alignment with the company or the goals. So what happens is they normally have a non-aligned kind of thing in there. And I think people, if they are clear, they just jot down their mission and vision, where they want to be, rather than following only blindly the company's mission and vision statements. You should have yours. That's what I feel.
Well, that's great, and I think I very well can resonate and recollect it to our one of our first discovery calls which we used to have. So I
Right.
really still recollect very well when you had made a statement that instead of finding that what you want to become, you should list down that what you don't want to become.
You don't want to be
So
done. Absolutely.
so I
I tell
think
my
that.
son, he's at a juncture, he's in ninth grade, the younger one. So I have an elder son who's on autism spectrum. He's 21. And whenever I sit with my son and he's still indecisive, this age is like that. And the same philosophy is to the children when you're counseling. Because what they don't want to do, like he doesn't want to do, say, doesn't want to become a doctor or into a biology, or so that is scored down, no? So you have less number of choices to go. And absolutely right, you said that now I think for you also the self discovery has led you to here, and I'm really happy that what you are doing. Of course, there has to be a monetary consideration after some time, which automatically work will follow. Your money will follow you after your work is done. But I'm happy that you are doing very very passionately the kind of pain you're taking. The viewership is just a matter of numbers. It will come. The only question is you should be continue to be creative. When I say the creativity part is that you have to think like an artist and work like an accountant, because
Mm.
you have to be everyday creative, but you have to be also like an accountant doing a daily entry. If you're
Correct.
not doing it, then the
Absolutely.
algorithm may not be able to bless you when
Correct,
it really
correct,
wants to.
absolutely, absolutely. Okay,
Yeah.
so moving to next, since there is a thin line between being a mentor and a coach, so these
Yeah.
worlds are generally overlapped. So, what do you
Mhm.
think, according to you, what's that line between? Because you now mentor a lot of professionals with various different organizations and different status. So, what's that line between being accountable and being an advisory?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I think being Krishna conscious now, I stay very near to Vrindavan and I follow a lot of Krishna teachings and all. I don't know
Okay.
how it happened, but if when I think about this question of advising and accountability and all, straight away Krishna and Arjuna comes to my mind. You know, Arjuna was the karam jisne kiya, but Krishna was one who was advising in a righteous way. So to answer to your question, I'm too little to be compared to that, but just an analogy in terms of how a mentorship will role plays into an individual life once somebody's under a mentorship is like a Krishna and Arjuna, where someone is advising you and you are actually doing yourself. So the Mahabharata was won by it was fought between Kauravas and Pandavas, but there was one Sutradhar or someone who was taking through. That is how the role is, and the accountability happens, because if your genuine advice is not there, or your transparency in the advising not there, then automatically things will fall down on its own like a pack of cards. So it has to, if the continuum has to happen, it has to happen in a way when you are very genuine in what you're advising.
True, true. I think the
Okay.
analogy was really meaningful. So what I know of is that you transitioned to this role during that, as you mentioned, also during the COVID times, the lockdown times. So it was a
Right.
discovery for you. But now it's been like at least 5 years that it's behind
Yeah.
us. So how do you see that careers now sustaining now in the coming times or far beyond this year? To
So
have a
one thing.
real sustainable successful journey.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, two things. I am a very, very strong advocate of financial independence. First of all, if there is no backup with you, like in your case, I'm again putting your references because your viewers will be able to connect, because they have those who are following you. They know your journey as well. In your case, being an independent woman who's been on your own in the professional journey from biotechnology to coming to this forum of Podshots. You, until unless you have something like a financial backing, the sustainable career option can have a very negative impact on your aspirations and mismatch between what you aspire to become and what you actually are turning to be. Because you might be in a job which you don't like just because you need money to pay your EMIs. So there, if you are financially independent and it is very personalized, subjective a matter. Somebody's happy in a 3 bhk house, somebody's not happy with 30 bhk palatial bungalow. But again, if you are very having financial independence, then career sustainability is there. So I will advise all the guys who are people who are listening to this, that first ensure your financial independence. Then you have like today is a very dynamic age where you have AI trying to mull over the conventional jobs. Then there are a lot of pink slips which are happening. Recently, you saw yesterday only, I had a post from Nova Nordisk, a pharmaceutical company who has downsized. And then when people come to that level and then they think what to pursue, whether it is a passion or a hobby, it is very difficult if you are not very financial independent. So any career, before that you are financial independent, you can pursue anything which you love, and your passion can be pursued for that. That's what I believe
Absolutely, I think very rightly said. And that's very important. You need to have some backup in order
in.
to
Right.
lead it from the front. So
And even
various
even if
various.
sorry to add there, even if like somebody has been a starting of the career or they're in the middle and they have commitments, I agree, they have to work. You should work, make a corpus. Once your corpus
Correct.
is there, then either continue there or you want to tighter away like us, you want to do what you want, really love to do. So there is a line of Morgan Housel. I really love that guy. He has quoted, what you want to do, with whom you want to do, till when you want to do. If that is the power financial independence can give you, that if I want to talk to Bhavna today, then I can talk or you can talk to me. But it is not compulsory. So that is the definition which people can relate to. That is the whole my vision and mission for, if you ask me, on financial independence is that the day you achieve that, that is the goal, which ultimately gives you freedom of doing what you
Sure.
want to do in life.
Sure. Sure. So
Yeah.
now, since we have seen you transitioning between so many different professional
Right.
identities, so just hypothetically considering that tomorrow you think that you want to change over or move out of from LinkedIn, say. So
Mhm.
what's the kind of legacy which we can see you leaving as lasting impact on LinkedIn as your message to the thing? So
I think I think there. I first of all, I believe in one philosophy, Bhavna, that every day when you wake up, it is your last day on this earth. So, whatever message I put today on LinkedIn, or maybe any day, if that is the last a day or the last message to be conveyed, it will be the similar one, because I will always dwell that you have to be the best on every day, whatever you do in your life, whether you meet, whether you greet, whether you do, because we don't know if tomorrow is there. Tomorrow maybe the next second is there or not. So for LinkedIn or any of the Gagan Victor philosophy people are appreciating and connecting with it, it will be the same. It will be like regular, because that is what my pieces I throw and people get connected. So it will be the similar one. And of course, there'll be a lot of gratitude and thanks for all the love people have showered. And वो कहते हैं ना कि अच्छा चलता हूँ दुआओं में याद रखना. that will be the only that will be only thing which you most precious thing which people can bestow on anyone is the good wishes and the prayers, if they remember in their prayers. That's all.
this was, first of all, we want to wish you for multiple more decades to continue. So
Right.
this hypothetical question was more that if you transition from a social media platform to something else,
Right.
so that's
Right.
that way. But
I mean,
otherwise,
maybe it touched me because I felt as if, when you're doing parting ways with someone, no, because normally I have a tendency of not looking back, because one of my earlier mentors in the pharmaceutical company, when I was shifting a company, he asked me, I still remember that quote, that whenever you're leaving a company or a platform or an association for good in a ceremonious exit way, then break your rear view mirror. You know, don't,
hmm,
because if you continue to look back,
see
then you
that.
don't will not be able to go forward. So he had told me, I was having a LML Vespa that time. It was long, almost 2.5, 3 decades back. So he told me, please break your अपने स्कूटर का rear view mirror तोड़ दीजिए गगन जी. He told me that, it's categorically. I said, why you want me to break? That was the meaning, was that don't look back, go ahead. So even if you leave something, it is for
Yeah,
good,
it
because
has to
there
be
is
for the
something better.
progressive. Yes, yes. So we
Progress.
definitely wish very progressive things in
Thank
future
you.
also.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, so this brings us to the end of the core grid. So now it's time for knowing you little more informally. So we'll
Right.
start a minute of a rapid fire. So are
Okay.
you okay? So then I'll start the timer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Shoot.
okay, okay. So what's that most underrated soft skill which nobody talks about?
Kindness.
Hmm.
Kindness is free and complimentary, but nobody does that. Very, very,
Right.
very, we are very miser being kind to each other. And we
Right.
should, first of all, be kind to our own selves. We should forgive ourselves. We should be very, very kind to ourselves.
I completely resonate with that. Okay, so which is that book or a practice or a ritual that really shaped you what you are currently?
So the ritual, of course, being a very good reader, not specific to any books now, because I have more books in my shelves than I can read in my lifetime. I've quoted it recently when I was doing a book review. And rituals, of course, being every day, being taking it as a new day. And I told you in the beginning that this is the last day of, because there isn't any tomorrow for me. So I always treat it as the last day, and I try to give my best shot. That is what I tell everyone to do that. I think that is what keeps me going, being learning every day, trying to absorb things from people, like to learn from you. I learned from you yesterday how to send a playbook, to become a more refined, organized, the kind of passion you're putting in. So every day is a learning, Bhavna. Thank you so much for being my
I
teacher.
think it's a mutual thing, and as long as we are open to learn from each other, I think there is no
Absolutely.
bar for learning for any stage or age for that
Right.
matter. So glad to know that.
Right.
Okay, so if considering that your career was a movie genre, so would it be a biopic, would it be a thriller, or would it be a spiritual rom-com?
Biopic, because
Okay,
personally,
okay,
spiritual, of course, biopic will suit,
okay, okay.
because
So, Mr.
life
Gagan,
journeys are like that only. Yeah, please.
right. So, what is harder? Is it saying no to people or saying yes to yourself?
Oh, there's an art of saying no, so we should all learn. And saying no is for your own self-respect, Bhavna. So it's like saying yes or saying no for me is same, because you are respecting your own self first, then anybody else. Because if you're not happy of saying yes or no anything, for the matter of fact, then things will not be even mirrored to across. So I think everybody should learn the art of saying no.
Right. Okay, the last one. What is your clarity breakthrough meal? Is it rajma chawal, butter chicken, parantha with dahi, or tandoori platter?
I think probably I like the different stuff. I like more of salads personally.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay.
the
So
different
very
I
healthy.
like.
I gave very unhealthy options
You give
probably.
options, once in a way kind of options, but I don't cherish any much. Of course, parathas. Because being a Punjabi, so morning breakfasts are occasionally that. So I can, in all the options you said, parathas of course will go with me, if that is the case. If you want to choose
Great.
from the.
Wonderful. I think this conversation was really a very, very, um, as if, we are sitting across and chatting. So I want to
Absolutely. Same here.
continue going ahead, but considering the format of the show. So once again,
Right.
thank you so much. I think the audience must have really got that kind of sense that it's not just chasing the titles or chasing some career achievements. It's actually seeking your own self and becoming what
Absolutely.
you are. So thanks again for sharing your wisdom. I'm sure people are definitely going to not only find it very insightful, but they are going to resonate as well to a lot of things which you shared. So thanks again for coming in, and I wish you all the very best and continue being that great personality what you have, and keep inspiring the world with your wisdom.
Thank you so much, Bhavna. I really appreciate your time, and I wish Podshots to be real success, and
Thank you so
keep
much.
going. Keep going. You're doing very well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, what a wonderful and insightful session it was with Mr. Gagan Victor, where he really emphasized on a very important point that instead of making our resumes fuller with an internal compass being empty, it's really meaningless. So you can continue listening to his advices, his learnings, his wisdom. You can follow him on LinkedIn, and even runs a YouTube channel, the Gagan Victor podcast. So do subscribe to that as well, and do leverage his great wisdom and the kind of experience which he shares to actually find and seek your inside or the inner calling. So this was a wrap for today, and till we meet next time, take very good care of yourself and your loved ones. See you next time, same channel, same place, same day, till I bring on another industry expert to have a wisdom shot with pot shots with Bhavna. Till then, signing off.